Okay. Hello. Hello. My name is Antique. That's Antique. My actual name's Anthony. You can call me that if you want. I'm 22 right now. I'm turning 23 this upcoming Saturday. And I want to talk about my age a little bit. I'm fucking old. I want to be a singer-songwriter. I love singing. I love making music. I love songwriting. It's just like, it's the one thing that no matter what I try to do, I cannot escape from it. And other people have put that more eloquently than me. That's how I feel. I released my first single in 2023, and then I did another one. Last year I released an EP. They were all me working towards what I just finished making, which is my album. I just got my master's back, and I'm so proud of it. Like, I really, really love it so much. I guess I just feel sort of overwhelmed and anxious because I'm 23. I mean, I released my first song when I was 20. Yeah, I was 20. I think all the time about when I was 16 or 17, there was this interview I saw of Phoebe Bridgers. She was talking about how nervous she was to release her first album at 22. And I remember back then being like, you know, thank God that's so long from now, right? Because I'm 16. Now I'm 23, right? And I could technically release my album tomorrow. It's sitting on my hard drive right over there, but I'm not gonna do that, obviously. And the thing about that Phoebe Bridgers interview is she was talking about her debut album, like, on a label. So she was steps ahead of me. Last year I released my first single that I really, really tried promoting. I don't want to say tried as if it like failed. I feel very successful in promoting it. Like I played like 16 shows in the last year. It was called Some Guy at Temple. It has a music video. I personally think it's a fantastic pop song. I think the verses are super concise and detailed and funny and interesting, and the hook's really catchy and it's fun to sing along to. It's got a good bridge. I'm not saying it's a perfect song. There are no perfect songs, but I really love that song. I'm really proud of how far it went. It's just been awesome, you know? And I've got this album. I'm just nervous because I'm fucking old, you know? I mean, you can lie to me all, you can look at me in the eyes and say, you're not that old, you're not that old. In the entertainment industry, I'm old. Okay, 23 is old. Taylor Swift had like 6 albums by now. Not that she's a good example. I have one. It's not even out yet. Like, I guess I just keep running into these artists that, it's not a them thing, it's a me thing. I will discover a new artist and Google them to see, you know, where they came from, who their parents are. Oftentimes, they're not Nepo babies, but Google them and it's like, oh, they were a viral comedy sensation when they were 8 on Vine. 8? I was in the closet. Like, when were you guys doing that? I was very busy making sure nobody knew I was gay. Between the ages of 8, which I didn't even really know that's what I was doing, but between the ages of like 8 until 17, I feel like is when I kind of started giving up on that, truthfully. My primary goal in life was making sure nobody figured out that I was gay. And despite the fact that, you know, all the time I was like, oh, I want to make YouTube videos, I want to make art, I want to sing, I want to play piano, I want to blah, 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 blah. That was always my primary goal. And so everything I would do was through the lens of that. So I wasn't making music at all. Because I felt like any lyrics that I wrote, people would somehow interpret as, oh, he's gay. Which, by the way, spoiler alert, like I am. So, you know, whatever. My point being, you know, I feel like I want to try now. I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel, and I've always wanted to love making them, and I love watching them, and I love making music. I want to do that. People have started older and succeeded. I'm not saying they're not. They haven't. I'm just saying it feels very overwhelming. But people have done it, you know. Slater, who I absolutely loved, who just got signed to Columbia, I think in year 7 of her career, which has already been amazing, right? She's got like 4 albums. It's been awesome. She never did anything as far as I know on the internet until like 2018 when she started putting music out. She did it, and now she's super successful. It totally can be done. One of my favorite singers ever, his name's Asher Finland, is doing it like right now. I mean, he's got 2 albums out. He's not on a label. He just puts everything like on TikTok all the time. He's had a couple songs go, I guess, gay viral? I don't know. Like, I don't want to negate his success and say that he hasn't gone viral, but like, most importantly to me, it's not like he has one song with 1 billion streams and then it's crickets. Like, all of his stuff consistently is getting like tens of thousands of streams, and he's building a fan base who really loves him and really fucks with him and wants to connect with him. And most importantly, I think he's a fantastic artist. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about him at length, right? But it is definitely possible. I'm just like scared, you know? And truthfully, like, I do think about just giving up a lot. I don't know. I have a full-time job. I live in Philadelphia in the big city. Where I wanted to live since I was a kid. I always wanted to move to the city. I escaped my hometown and live in the city with an apartment, and I have friends, and I have a full-time job, and I have a lovely boyfriend, and I have my family who loves me. And sometimes I'm like, why am I spending so much time chasing this dream that feels impossible? You know, it's like I'm my old ass trying to be a fucking pop star or whatever. Like, why am I doing all this, girl? Just go to work. I just can't escape it. Every time I've tried to stop making music, I literally can't. There's been times I've been like, I need to just stop writing for a week to like clear my brain. It'll last like an hour. And then I'll end up writing like the best song I've ever written in my entire life. It's this very integral part of me. It's in my fucking DNA. I'm not stupid, okay? I know this is a long shot. I know it's a crazy pipe dream, but ultimately this is my life, okay? Let's say it doesn't go anywhere, all right? Let's say I do singles and I do an album and it just fucking flops and no one cares. At least when I die and I'm on my deathbed, you know, when I die and I'm on my girl, at least when I die, I can look back and say, look, I made all these YouTube videos that I loved watching. I made this podcast that I really liked. I made these albums that I love listening to and have just soundtracked my life and mean all these different things to me. That's really important to me. I want to be able to be on my deathbed and say that, like, I tried, you know, I used my life trying to do the thing that I wanted to do. My album's great regardless. I really love it. I've been listening to it nonstop since I got my master's back. And so I guess in a way I already feel like I succeeded. I already did the thing I wanted to do. Because when I was 16, the thing I wanted more in the world was to have an album. Actually, when I was 8, the thing I wanted more in the world. And I love it, and I think it's really great. And I think 8-year-old me would have absolutely fucking loved it. That's a music success. I don't know. I don't know if 8-year-old me would have loved it. I think I would have liked some of the songs, and some of the songs I would have been like, this is weird. 16-year-old me would have thought this album was genius, would have never fucking shut up about it, would have acted like I created it, even though, like, if it was someone else's album, I would talk about it as if I personally discovered it, and as if that gave me infinite, like, cred. Like, it's one of those albums that I listen to and I'm like, you guys actually need to listen to this artist called Antique. You ever heard of Antique? He's up and coming. Oh, he'll be everywhere soon. It should be everywhere. If I at 19 discovered this album, I would go to every single party freshman year and cue it on the fucking TV. I would hunt down whoever had the phone and say, can I cue something? And I would start every song and be like, no, you have to listen. No, you have to listen. No, I don't think you listened hard enough. You have to listen to this. I feel like a lot of this video so far has sounded kind of bitter of other people who have gotten their start more than me. I guess I want to say it's not like I haven't gotten a start at all. You know, I got a couple thousand streams on some guy at Temple on the video. People kind of seem to sort of know who I am if I'm in like the right rooms. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful and thankful for everything that's happened. I'm so thankful that I have like the resources and the time and the energy to spend on working on this dream that I really love. And so if I sound bitter, it's not, I don't know. I guess I feel like I have a right to be a little bitter if I want to be, you know, that when I was a kid and I wanted to like do all these things, I felt like I couldn't because, you know, society made it seem like that was a bad thing, that I wanted to be creative or be myself or whatever. I think I'm allowed to be bitter about that, but I want to like create that space that I wanted to exist when I was a kid, hopefully for someone else. On that note, I want to set a metric. In 2026, I want by the end, every song on my album to have 10,000 streams. I will consider it a success if that's true, if that happens. So if you want to help me out with that, you can actually play it. You don't play it on mute because that won't count, but if you play it at a super low volume while you go to bed. Primarily, I really love songwriting. I think the process of taking things that have happened to me and making them general enough that people will relate to them, but specific enough that it's like still mine and still unique and interesting and like is fun to listen to, it's fun to dance to, and making it into song is such a creatively fulfilling experience, and it's like my favorite thing in the entire world. And getting to translate that into a finished produced product, you know, on the subway and putting it on and staring out the window and being like, oh my god, this fits. This is perfect. I'm really inspired sonically, like production wise, by video game music, first of all. So like I played Metroid a lot growing up, so I love the soundtracks to the Metroid Prime trilogy. Super Mario Galaxy is such a fantastic soundtrack. Both of those games are very like, these soundtracks are very atmospheric but also very melodic at the same time. And that to me is really important. It's like super important to create like a world within the song instead of just kind of the song being songy, which is great too. And I have songs that are like that. My song Taped to My Ceiling is the most like songy thing I've made, I feel like, but I want it to be kind of like a world within the song, you know. Zelda Twilight Princess is another one. That one I love the color palette of that game, but also the sounds. Like, is it Farron Woods is yes, that is one of my favorite video game songs like ever. I think it's so gorgeous. Or Zora's Domain, that's another really good one. I love just like, I love playing shows because I love seeing people like dance and get into it and be happy with their friends and like get shit-faced and be like, this is the best thing ever, and it's like me. I think that's so much fun. I love like, I love hearing people talk about my lyrics back to me and sort of what it means to them and their kind of like interpretation of it, or like how it makes them feel or whatever. And I love that I think this deeply about music that's inherently like kind of dumb. You know, my song Fiona Gallagher, the hook is just like, wait, I forgot I'm hot. You know, it's just fucking stupid. That line, hang on, side tangent. That line is, I think, deeper and more personal than, this is such a great example of how I like turning my experiences into like a song, right? Because wait, I forgot I'm hot is like stupid, right? It's just like, hey, you know. But for me, it's more about like, I guess I felt like growing up, I was always super insecure and I never felt like I could fully be myself, and I never felt like, so then as an adult, now that I am who I want to be, I live where I want to live, I do what I want to do, I have friends that I love, I'm like openly gay, all that kind of stuff. Forget that. And sometimes I slip into that old kind of insecure thing, and so then sometimes I'll literally see myself in the mirror and be like, wait. Not so much about physical attraction, but obviously that's part of it. But anyway, my point being, sometimes my music is stupid, but that's what I want to do, you know? And then I love doing this all as like an openly queer person who, you know, I can channel all of my experiences into this. Ultimately, you know, my songs are palatable and fun, but they're also like about being in the butt, you know, like that's my truth. I want to like be able to create music for who I was as a child and who I am now, like who I guess my true self. I'm very much openly gay and I'm openly queer, but I'm not super flamboyant, but not in a way that like, I just don't have that dog in me. I can't be that. Ultimately, I think that sounds like a ball, truthfully. Like, I would love to be so much more just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it doesn't even fucking sound right. Like, I just can't. But at the same time, like, my ass was gagging at the Addison Rae concert. You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking there. You know? So that's just who I am. And I want to create music for that 14-year-old boy, because that's the music that I really desperately needed when I was younger. I figure if there's 8 billion people in the world, there's no way I am so unique that no one else can relate to my music and no one else will like sort of need to hear that, you know? And so I want to create that space, especially in this political climate. Ever heard of the recession? Ever heard of Donald Trump? I'm kidding, but like unironically, yeah, it fucking sucks right now. So yeah, my point being, I think it's really important now that I, as an openly gay man, continue making the music I want to make and putting it out and singing about being in the butt, right? Because not only is that my truth, but that's someone else's truth, and I think the world needs more of that. And even if it doesn't, I don't fucking care. That's what I want to do with my one-way trip through life, is sing about being in the butt. So if that's interesting to you, join me. My album will be out eventually. Yeah, thank you for watching. Join me if you want. Okay, bye.